So I'm standing here with Nick Hogios. He is responsible for the Tonka Hilux. So Nick's going to walk us through what he's done to turn a normal Hilux SR5 into this monster. Nick, so here we are at the back, and already I can see it's basically completely different.
Yeah, so this is quite a big departure from the Hilux. It was a 5-month project. We have a great team of designers and studio engineers and modelers back in Melbourne. Fabricators have put all this together in such a high quality way. It's quite dramatic when you see it in the flesh. I mean, I'm sure you'll agree that compared to the photographs and the videos, it is quite a inspiring and intimidating kind of design. So looking at the rear here, we start with this tailgate, for example. So it's not just a piece of metal across the back, it's now a carbon fibre tailgate with an integrated lip spoiler.
Yep.
It has bespoke Toyota lettering machined into the back of the tray there.
I love the colour. What colour? Is this a Toyota colour, or have you? That's a.
It was loosely based on the FJ Cruiser yellow.
Yep.
But yeah, it's certainly been modified to give it that punch and aggression. And you got a combination of metal fabricated parts down below and recovery hooks down low, and yeah, that black and yellow combination really sings.
I love this.
Yeah, the strap. Yeah, it's it was one of the ideas that one of our designers came up with. It's kind of like a way to do it without sort of reminiscent of some of the motorsport type applications. But yeah, even this element here at the rear is a work of art. It's all tubular frame. It houses all those off-roading components, like obviously spare wheel, fuel cans, toolboxes, fire extinguisher, high lift jack, axes, shovels, everything you could possibly need.
So it's like a survivalist Tonka toy. I like this. This is good. I'm warming up to this. So, and so basically, there's not a lot left from behind on standard SR5. So this is all bespoke, the back here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And including the suspension's different. And
suspension's different. We have what we call a portal axle system that gives you the ultimate ground clearance. Raises the axle up compared to where the wheels sit, and that's what really makes it so capable. 35-inch wheels and tyres, overall diameter, and off-road racing wheels, and it's a combination, as I said, of metal fabricated components, but there's also some cool little 3D printed parts like the Tonka caps in the wheels there, and and some other components around the car.
And all of this was done in Melbourne, right?
Yes.
So all Australian. That's pretty cool. All right, so we'll head towards the front.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, so we know we've got these amazing kind of blistered arches.
Yep.
What else has happened down the side here?
Okay, so these arches, as you mentioned, are made of carbon fibre, and they're basically there to try at least cover, partially at least, these huge 35-inch tyres, as we mentioned. And
I love this.
And custom graphics actually really make a big difference.
Yeah.
It sort of balances out the proportion of yellow and black as you go down. Even the graphics, hark back to some heritage liveries on some old Toyota motorsport vehicles. These bars you see here, this tubular construction is a rock slider, so it protects the underbody from rock strikes when you're traversing across quite rough terrain. A lot of the things that the target customers in this area would really appreciate, we tried to put as much on here as possible, and then take it to another level again. So
and that's obviously bespoke as well. Is that carbon fibre up there, the light bar?
Yeah, I mean, being a one-off, there's a lot of composites in here, but what we try to do with all the lighting in here is try and integrate it in, not just make it look like a bolt-on somewhere. So centrally through there, we've got the roof-mounted light bar. We've got these air intakes on the side, so they're sort of 3D printed, and the rest is in carbon fibre. What I really love, though, is this power bulge.
I was just about to say, this power bulge is awesome. But interestingly, when I went for a ride around, it doesn't look as big on the inside as it is on the outside.
Proportionally, if you compare that to the rest of what's happening on the car, it sits well. It really sits in proportion. So that's also a composite part, and that's again contrasted by the fabricated metal front bar.
And this is my second favourite bit, because this looks absolutely amazing. And so this was done by hand, obviously.
Yes, it certainly was. I mean, we use a lot of CAD data, and we develop things on the tube, and then from there we make it. And as I said, there's a big diversity in the way we make things. So these are 3D printed again. This is folded, laser cut, welded, steel up here and aluminium down there. For example, these yellow parts here, that's a solid billet aluminium just machined out. So again, we wanted this thing to be genuine. It's Tonka, it's Hilux, it's Toyota. They're all genuine brands. We didn't want to put anything fake on this car, so it had to work.
And it runs. That's the cool thing, because most concept cars, as you know,
It runs.
don't
really
run that well. Whereas this thing just done this track down here. So yeah,
You know, even the style of the underguard or the bash plate,
bash
as we
plate
call
looks
it under
amazing,
there, it looks great, but it's actually quite functional to protect all that componentry behind it.
Nick, thank you so much. It's absolutely,
pleasure.
it looks amazing, and it's a shame it isn't real for the road.
It's real, but there's only one.
There's only one. So can you get a ride in this around at the shows? Are you going to be?
You can get a ride, I think.
Yeah. So if Dad doesn't climb over the kids, he might get a ride too.
Well, yeah, it depends how nice he is to the driver, I guess. But certainly a ride is possible.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you very much.